Imagine this, two people, same city, same street, almost the same rent. The first person pulls in $95,000 a year and secretly counts the days until their next paycheck. Their apartment looks like a showroom. A massive wall-mounted TV, a $4,000 leather sectional, a kitchen stuffed with gadgets still in their original boxes, closets overflowing with clothes they never wear, and an entire spare bedroom buried under things they do not remember buying. On the surface, this person looks successful, but open their bank account and you will see the truth. They are one unexpected bill away from disaster. Their net worth is nearly zero. The second person earns $52,000 a year and sleeps like a baby. Their apartment is calm, clean, and intentional. A simple couch, a reasonably sized TV, a kitchen with only the tools that actually get used, a wardrobe with clothes they genuinely wear, a spare bedroom that is actually a bedroom. This person has 18 months of expenses sitting in savings and invests 20% of every paycheck without thinking twice. Their financial security is not luck. It is a system. Same neighborhood. One earns almost double, yet the lower income person has nearly 10 times the financial freedom. This is not a story about income. It is a story about a hidden trap that quietly destroys wealth for millions of high earners and the exact money rules that set others completely free. Here's the uncomfortable truth most financial advice ignores. Every single thing you own costs you money twice. The first cost is obvious, the price tag. The second cost is invisible and often far larger. That treadmill you bought occupies roughly 20 square feet of your home. In most urban areas, that is $600 to $1,000 per year in storage cost. That boat in your driveway costs around 10% of its value every year. A $30,000 boat costs $3,000 annually, whether you use it or not. That $15,000 home gym could have grown into $50,000 over time if invested. And there's another cost nobody talks about. Mental energy. Every item you own needs to be cleaned, organized, maintained, and eventually removed. Your stuff is quietly draining your attention. When you add all of this up, most possessions cost more to own than to buy. Rule 1. Calculate cost per use before every purchase. Before you buy anything, ask yourself one question. How many times will I actually use this? Divide the total cost by that number. That is the real value. A $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per use. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs $2 per use. The expensive one is actually cheaper. A $2,000 mattress used every night for 10 years costs around 55 cents per use. A $300 kitchen gadget used twice a year costs $150 per use. This simple calculation destroys impulse buying. Rule 2, the replacement test. Walk through your home and ask yourself one honest question. If this disappeared today, would I buy it again? Be honest, most things would not be replaced. They exist because of habit, not intention. They take up space, money, and mental energy while giving nothing back. Sell what has value, donate what can be used, remove what serves no purpose. Rule 3, never upgrade out of boredom. If something works, keep it. New does not mean necessary. Replacing things without reason destroys wealth over time. Rule 4, make spending difficult and saving easy. Remove saved cards, wait before buying, automate your investments, design your environment so the right choice becomes automatic. Rule 5, count your possessions. Pick a category. Count how many items you own. Write it down. Most people underestimate. Awareness changes behavior. Once you see the number, buying more feels different. Use limits. Use one in, one out rules. Rule 6, rent or borrow before you buy. Test interests before committing, because most excitement fades quickly. Rent, borrow, learn first, then buy only what you truly need. Rule 7, understand the lifestyle multiplier. Every purchase creates more expenses. One item leads to many hidden costs: storage, maintenance, accessories, time. The real cost is always higher than the price. Rule 8, define what enough looks like. If you do not define it, it will keep increasing. Income grows, lifestyle grows, and nothing changes. Define your limit before your income rises. Rule 9, measure wealth by freedom, not by what you own, but by what you can choose. The ability to leave a job, to take a break, to change your life. That is real financial freedom. Rule 10, Declutter regularly. Do it in small cycles, not once a year. Remove a few items every week. Stay aware, stay intentional. Here's what nobody tells you about minimalism and money. The relationship runs in both directions. Owning less creates more cash flow. More cash flow builds savings. Real savings create genuine financial security. Financial security removes the need to spend on things that temporarily fill emotional gaps. And reduced spending accelerates wealth building even further. Each turn of this cycle strengthens the next. The opposite cycle is just as powerful. Spending everything creates financial stress. Financial stress leads to more spending for temporary relief. More spending increases the stress even more. And the cycle continues until something breaks. The path you choose between these two cycles will shape your entire financial life. More than your income, more than your education, more than where you were born. That first apartment, filled with expensive things, owned by someone living paycheck to paycheck, belongs to someone who never questioned one belief: that more stuff equals a better life. That second apartment, calm and intentional, backed by savings and investments, belongs to someone who questioned that belief and found something far more valuable on the other side. You do not need a higher income to start. You need clarity about what actually matters. Start this week, walk through your home, find 10 things you would not replace and let them go. Follow the 24-hour rule before every non-essential purchase. Define what enough looks like in your life. Write it down, because if you do not define it, it will keep moving forever. The math supports this path. So does the peace of mind. Now, the question is simple. Do you want to own your possessions, or are you comfortable letting your possessions own you?